AVC Vinyl Community, is Tim. I'm about to duck down the Vinyl Alley here for a little bit. Long overdue. I posted a Vinyl Tag video, really my introduction to the vinyl community about a month ago, and then I went AWOL. I'm not very prolific, but I like to pop in every now and again. I've been watching lots of videos though from the community. Watched a lot of the Vinyl Tag stuff, but some other real cool stuff. I will say, did make a couple of runs at doing videos based on the theme of Aaron Alamar. His Tipsy Tuesday series, and which is always a lot of fun, and just love Aaron's channel, if I can call him that, and just his energy and his pure love of music, especially rock and roll. Just love it; it's infectious. So I thought I might do a bit of a sipping Saturday, so to speak, in which I kind of pick 3 records, just random records, spin them. And then, on my own time, of course, and then report back into the vinyl community about what I randomly listened to that day as I was sipping. Fortunately, the sipping often got ahead of the spinning, and by the time I was ready to do a video, you wouldn't want to have seen it. So anyway, so I'm not really sipping, and I'm not going to do a random poll day, sort of random listens and report back. I just do a bit of a vinyl haul. Part of my new resolutions here was to hit, not to do online shopping, and to hit some stores, mom and pop stores in particular, just do some crate digging, and that's always been the best way. First things first, right now, listen to Robin Lane and the Chartbusters, 1981, Warner Brothers, Gray label. Can't show you the label is playing. Got a power poppy, more in the poppy as opposed to the power, but it's got some nice riffs, kind of catchy, and for the $5 I paid for it or something, it was more than worth it. Real cool inner sleeve. I don't know if you can really see this, but the sketching is really, really cool. It's just, so the original package in vinyl is just a mint. I don't know this band very well, but I've kind of gone down digging into some power pop that was way off my radar, and probably off a lot of people's radar, a lot of 1, 2, and done bands, but so much great music out there. Anyway, speaking of great music, a little bit of a rant before I get going and show some vinyl signs. And what is it with the music industry anyway? So here we have this incredible resurrection of resurgence of vinyl. I mean, it's never gone away from me. It's always been my preferred method of listening since I was, a kid, a single-digit kid, really. But what is this, right? All of a sudden, all this popularity and all that, and it's just the price that people are putting on vinyl. And I get supply chain, blah, 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 whatever, all these things, but it's greed. At the end of the day, it's greed. I know, cost of production is likely up for a lot of reasons in these inflationary times, post-pandemic, whatever. There's a lot of circumstances out there, but what they're about to fucking do is put a stake through the heart of the vinyl resurgence is what's happening. And, it's unfortunate because they have this whole community of people who didn't grow up with vinyl around, and are exploring it, and are just, it disheartens me to see this kind of industry greed. It's so short-sighted. It's frustrating. So, and that really was driven home to me, I guess, when I went and spent a day in Halifax, Halifax, Nova Scotia, about an hour drive from me. Just went in and just hit some vinyl stores, and I haven't done that in a long time. And I was the ones that were selling the newer vinyl, I was like really, really shocked at the sticker prices for the most part. It had some great scores though, nonetheless, with respect to secondhand vinyls, and I did pick up a couple of new vinyl. Just because new releases. So anyway, without further ado, I'm just move this along. I hope everybody's doing really well. So it's no particular order. I am just going to pick a handful of those records, and I might do a part 2 because it was a good haul. It was a good day. Hit 4 different stores on the new vinyl front. Excuse me 1 second. I'll grab a couple of those. Unopened yet, Sloan Steady. Sloan, Halifax band, Halifax, Nova Scotia, in the early 1990s was called I don't know, the New Seattle, or the East Coast Canadian Seattle. I don't know what it's called, but Sloan was a big part of that. There was other great bands around at that time, of course. I think of Jail, Cool Blue Halo. Under Pressure. I can't come up with those names. One of my favorite bands at that time was Rebecca West, Alison Outlet, and just amazing. Still to my day, some of my favorite music of all time. Joel Plaskett in The Emergency, Hardship Post. They were from Newfoundland, but there was a record label called Murder Records. A lot of these bands, some of these bands went on to get signed with Sub Pop. But Murder Records in Halifax had really launched many of these voyages. And Sloan still going, and still just power pop beauty. I love that. And even though I haven't listened to this record, I've heard so much good things about it. The other new one, No Mercy in This Land, Ben Harper and Charles Musselwhite. You can see that. The lighting of the glare, I don't know. Anyway, I picked up their first collaboration, and it's just so smooth and blues. They complement each other so well. And Ben Harper, of course, is an exceptional player, a beautiful singer, and Charles Musselwhite, has been around for quite a long time and a wonderful blues harmonica player. So some of those other records maybe I found here. I'm just going to grab 4 or 5 of them, get in and get out, and I'll show the rest of them maybe a little later after we're doing some sipping. All right, so picked up random. Don't know this album at all. Haven't heard this album. Only have one album by this band, Mooncan, of course. And I picked up Golden Earring to the Hilt, which I think is a 1985 record. Let me get my glasses here. On MCA Records. Got the original liner there, and could be the original Canadian press, or maybe it's a U.S. press actually. So I don't know. Anyway, looking forward to listening to that. Moxie, another band from the 70s. This is Riding High. This would be the 3rd record. I have 1 and 2. Really, I think under the radar, understated band. Just good rock and roll. I wouldn't call it heavy metal, but it's rock and roll. Or rock, I guess. Maybe a little more. And I haven't listened to this. I don't know what to expect. Again, it's been on my kind of radar. And at $5, why wouldn't you pick it up? Nick Gilder. Body Talk Music, M-U-Z-I-K. Nick Gilder, who freaking knew, right? Who freaking knew? This is a 1981 press. I haven't listened to this yet. All I knew of Nick Gilder was Hot Child in the City. And that's, and I think there's another song maybe up there. It's not going to come to me at the moment. And I thought he was kind of a one-hit wonder, and thought, well, he's kind of a, interesting looking guy or whatever, but I just never really ever heard anything else he did. And holy scamoly. Now, I haven't heard this record. I picked up a couple of his, the one with Hot Child in the City on, and maybe I'll show that in a little bit. Anyway, my mind was duly blown just by its hook. Alley, and wonderful arrangements, and just wow, what a lot of fun to listen to this guy. And I think in my sort of my rudimentary search into his background a little bit, it seemed to me that most of his albums are kind of in that vein. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. Then. Baby Shakes, Turn It Up, baby. This is an indie record on Little Chewy Records, and this is from 2017. Baby Shakes, I think, again, don't know a whole lot about that. There's some relation to Atlanta and New York. There's no pretension. There's no real. It's not genius, but it's real, and really, really kind of, it's just fun, just having such sort of a power rock band. kind of thrashing it out and maybe just kind of feeling it. There's a certain energy, and you can YouTube them if you wish, but there's a certain energy with these with his band. 3 girls, and the drummer is it's Claudia, Mary, Judy, and Ryan. Ryan's the drummer. Mary's the lead vocals and rhythm guitarist. Claudia is the bass and background vocals, and Judy is the lead guitar and background vocals. And there's this real cool clip on YouTube of them doing Teenage Kicks by the Undertones in a small bar or pub in England, I think, and just exceptional. So I can't say enough about that. Anyway, good energy, good fun. Very good to support them, and I haven't spun this yet, but I'm looking forward to giving it a spin. All right, so I think that should do it for. I should pick this up. Tell you about this record too, because this was a new vinyl buy. This is the Cracker first self-titled record. First record was this 1991, I believe, 1992, and. One of my favorite bands, one of my wife's favorite bands, and have everything these guys have ever done. David Lowery, Johnny Hickman. And Johnny Hickman is one of my favorite guitar players of all times. His ability to get tone is exceptional. Anyway, they write meaningful songs, powerful songs. Lyrical content is great. Even this, what the world needs now is another folk singer like I Need a Hole in the Head. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Someone please tell me it's not a train. Dr. Bernice, this is just loaded with amazing tunes, and very young band. So this is a music on vinyl release, and I saw it, and I have the original record on cassette. And I say, so I had to pick that up. A little on the pricey side, and hence my rant earlier. I got to limit that, I'm sure, because most of the crate diving is where you find all those things you don't know you're looking for, and usually for some decent pricings. But this is just self-indulgent for me, and it's something my wife and I will enjoy time and time again listening. And certainly this is a band we saw once in the 90s on the Golden Age tour that I think we're going to go out of our way to try to see hopefully this year, but they don't really come into our neck of the woods, and so this is going to involve maybe a bit of a road trip for us. So anyway, Cracker, if you haven't heard this record, you haven't heard any of the records, you can start anywhere and enjoy. But certainly this debut in 1992 was anyway, from beginning to end, it's almost a perfect record, I would say. All right, that'll be it for now. It was good to see everybody. Maybe I'll report back on some of the new listens. I have some other vinyl that I picked up. I just don't want to make these too long, these videos, so I'll try to keep them in between 10 minutes would be the ideal time. I'm a little over. I was a little ranty. Anyway, VC, keep pumping it out. Keep sharing your discoveries, your passions, and your joys for music. Keep your glass half full, and let the sipping begin. Dexateens, if you haven't heard that band, another great band from Alabama. This is a koozie, of course. Dexateens, and you don't get too drunk to fight. All right? All right. Have a great Saturday, y'all. Love one another.